true that the head of the FBI was spying on his boss, the president, almost immediately after the inauguration, would there be a justification for that? Would that be legal? Is there precedent for it? What's your take?
Oh, Tucker, there's absolutely no precedent for it. It would be difficult to overstate how egregious in a violation of the Attorney General guidelines and probably several criminal statutes that type of operation would be without predication. And in this case, assuming that these two sources are correct, I don't see any predication whatsoever, and certainly no documentation of an intelligence assessment or counterintelligence assessment, as Comey described it in his book, or a preliminary inquiry or a full investigation. And those are the only three types of investigations there are. So there would have had to have been some sort of documented predication for him to do that. If that existed, if the documents that justified that existed, we would know, right? Right. This sounds, I read the article. It sounds like a rogue operation on the part of the FBI director, if it's true. I've thought all along that Deputy Director McCabe's initiation of an investigation out of the Deputy Director's office was thoroughly unprecedented. The Deputy Director should not be running any investigation whatsoever, and the Director himself should not be operational in any investigation. So it's hard to number all the things that are wrong with the things that are described in this article, again, assuming that these two sources are true. But as someone who spent a lot of time in management over at the FBI, you see this, and your first thought is this is bizarre and rotten. You can't make this stuff up. This is about as shady as it gets. We know, at least many of myself and many of my former colleagues and current FBI agents who I hear from think that Jim Comey and his inner circle were just off making their own set of rules, doing their own thing for their own personal reasons, primarily because they just disliked the president. That's not how it works, of course, Tucker, as you well know. Yeah, I grew up getting lectures from liberals about J. Edgar Hoover and how he went rogue, and that was bad. And anything J. Edgar Hoover was accused of would pale in comparison to this. This is 7 Days in May. This is an inner circle of self-appointed moral guardians taking over the presidency and trying to take it down for their own personal reasons. I don't even think it was political. I think they just personally disliked the president and as part of that inner circle. The democracy's fake if things like this happen, obviously. Yeah. Chris, thanks very much for your perspective. It's shocking. Yeah, thanks, Tucker.